Welcome to my August wrap up. In this video, I want to show you all the books that I've hauled in the month of August, that I've read, and that I will be unhauling now after the month. So let's start with the books that I've hauled in August. The first two books that I want to show you are ebooks. We had one new release in a series, which was Love Arranged by Lauren Escher, the third and final book in the Lakefront Billionaires trilogy. And I also bought Celsius by Mark Ellsberg. This is a science thriller that I can't wait to read. It was on sale now in August. And at some point, I went to buy the hardcover for my shelf because I really love the books by Mark Ellsberg that I've read so far. And now we can come to the physical copies. The first one is the third book in the Dungeon Crawler Car series by Matt Dinniman, the Dungeon Anarchist's Cookbook. I can't wait to read this book because I really loved book 1 and 2. And I'm reading book 3 now in September with my buddy read girls. So in the week, this video will be uploaded. And I also can't wait to read the other books in the series, but I tried not to bulk buy them and instead buying them one after the other every time I finished the book before. So my TBR is not growing because of this. So far, I am successful with this mission. So let's continue with that. Silver Cloak by L.K. Stephen is a standalone that was published now in August, I think. I don't know much about it. I had a friend buying this and telling me that this should be very good. The only thing I've read from the synopsis is that this is a world full of pain and lust, and that intrigued me for a dark romantasy. So I will probably read this as a buddy read in October or November with this friend. We will see how much time we have in October because there are quite a few buddy reads ongoing in the moment, and we want to continue series. We want to start a new series in October. So the buddy read plan is already full, but maybe we can sneak it in. And I'm doing good with not buying all at once for the Dungeon Crawler Car series. With the World of Solaria, not so much. I'm getting to the end of the Zodiac Academy series, so I wanted to prepare for the next one in this world, which is the Darkmoor Penitentiary series by Susan Valenti and Caroline Peckham. The series is set 5 years after Zodiac Academy, if I remember correctly. And with that, I can write continue after I finished the Zodiac Academy series. In the moment, I am reading book 8 and 8.5 as a tandem read. And after that, I have the Live and Let Lionel novellas and the ninth book in the series, the final book that I need to read. And after that, I can read this series. I have them here now just in case that I finish the Zodiac Academy series earlier than expected. And if not, these will wait for me until next year, which is also okay. After Zodiac Academy, I have now the Darkmoor Penitentiary series left in the world of Solaria, and the Sins of the Zodiac series, which is the series the authors are writing at the moment. Book 3 is coming out next year. So we will see if I can get on track on time for the release of Cindervale. But for now, I have another book that I want to read now right away in September. It came out in the end of August. It is Catabasis by R.F. Kuang. a book that is already discussed a lot on social media, and I can't wait to read it to make up my own opinion about this because I really liked Babel, I really liked Yellowface, and I've heard that this should be for people that like Babel. I keep my fingers crossed that I will like that. This will also be a buddy read with my buddy read girls on Discord. That is planned for the end of September, so the last full week of September. This is the German edition with golden sprayed edges. I bought the German version because I was a bit intimidated to read this book in English, and I think this was the right decision, especially for this academic, more literature books. It is easier for me to read them in my native language, but nonetheless, I will discuss them with you in English, so stay tuned. And now I have one book left that I've bought. It was on sale, and I haven't planned to buy this book at all. I didn't even knew about it before I saw it in the bookstore. In English, this book is called Neurotribes: The Legacy of Autism and the Future of Neurodiversity. It is by Steve Silberman, and as you might can tell, it is about autism, and I'm really interested to read about autism and neurodiversity. So I've bought it in the bookstore and already started reading it. Just the first few pages to get a bit of a vibe here. And I already liked how Steve Silberman is writing. So I can't wait to read more, which I will do now in September. So here we have them all. These are all the books that I've hauled in the month of August, plus the two ebooks, which means we can now come to the books that I've read in the month of August. The first one that I want to present you is also an ebook that I've read. It is the last book in the Windy City series by Liz Comfort, Rewinded Back, the story of Rio and Helly. And this was definitely my favorite book of the whole series. I had no critiques on this. I loved the book, I loved the story, I loved the characters, I loved everything about it. And if you want to know more, there is a whole vlog already up for the Windy City series. So you can watch it on my channel if you want. And then we have Blood of Hercules, the first book in the Villains of Law series by Jasmine Mars. I really had super high hopes for this book. I was super happy that I could read it now in August, that I finally had the time. But for me, it was a disappointment. This book was not for me. I couldn't vibe with the characters. I couldn't vibe with the setting. I couldn't vibe with the writing. So I DNF'd this book 3/4 in, and I will tell you a little bit more about it in my next vlog that will be coming next week. And as I already told you, I continued the Dungeon Crawler Cast series with book 2, Carl's Doomsday Scenario by Matt Dinniman. I liked book 2 even more than book 1, and I think the whole story and action in this book was more diverse than in book 1, which is why I liked book 2 a little bit more. And all in all, this series is super entertaining so far, super fun. I like the action, I like our characters and their character development, and I can't wait to see how this adventure continues because Matt Dinniman can write a story that surprises me again and again, which is not that easy because a lot of times I can predict the plot from far away. Not in this case, and I'm loving that. This is another series that I continued. I've started this book 2.5 months ago. So if you follow my vlogs, you can might tell which book it is. It is book 7 of the Zodiac Academy series by Caroline Peckham and Susan Valenti. I took my time with it, but I finally finished it now in the end of August. I won't tell you much about it here in this vlog because this book is part of the vlog next week. So stay tuned. And here we have another chunky book, a non-fiction book that I finished in August. This is the German version. In English, it is called Enemies in the History of the FBI by Tim Weiner. The first of 3 books by Tim Weiner that I want to read. And it was super, super interesting. I'm glad that I've read it. I'm glad that I've read it as a buddy read and could discuss it with a friend. And we are doing that now for the second book by Tim Weiner, which is Legacy of Ashes, the history of the CIA. But because this is nonfiction, we take our time with it and just read 1 or 2 chapters a day. Sometimes no chapters a day. It depends if we can fit it in our daily tasks. So it is a low priority buddy read, but nonetheless, we are enjoying this nonfiction buddy reads. And I've also enjoyed some literary fiction. This one I read alone for my 25 for 2025 videos. It is Whisper Network by Chandra Baker, and I really, really like this book. It is marketed as a thriller, but for me, this is more literary fiction about feminism, about sexual abuse and harassment at the workplace. And I'm really glad that I've read this book. If you want to know more about Whisper Network, there is a video already up on my channel. You can search for the last 25 for 2025 blog, and this contains Whisper Network and also Game Changer by Neil Schusterman. This is also literary fiction, but more magical realism and more for young adults. But again, a book that I'm really, really glad that I've read it because there is a lot of social criticism in this book, as in Whisper Network. The main point here is racism, and I really liked how this topic was explored. I think it was a really good way of show, don't tell, which is the most important rule in writing. And Neil Schusterman did a great job here. So I can recommend both of these books, Game Changer and Whisper Network. And I can also recommend Darling Venom by Parker S. Huntington. I loved this book. I read it in my Thursday Read With Me videos, so there is also a video up where I discussed Darling Venom. I teared up a few times while reading the story. It was emotional, it was heartbreaking, and I really, really like this kind of love story. So I'm very glad a friend recommended it to me because otherwise I might have never read it. So thanks, Lisa. And in my Sunday Read With Me videos, where I read the whole Cosmere universe of Brandon Sanderson, I finished The Lost Metal, and with that, the whole Mistborn series that is out so far, because The Lost Metal was now the final book in the second era of Mistborn. Brandon Sanderson is currently writing the third era, which is currently called Ghost Bloods. So I'm super intrigued by that because we already learned a bit about the Ghost Bloods, and I can't wait to learn more to continue this adventure because I really like the whole world building in Mistborn. And hopefully, Era 3 will be a bit more like Era 1 because Era 2 was a super fun read, but I liked Era 1 more, especially because of the plot. So we will see how this goes. Currently, I'm reading now a standalone in the Cosmic Universe, which is Elantris. After that, I will be reading Yumi and the Nightmare Painter, and then I will go back to the Stormlight Archive, the series with the chunkiest books ever. And I can't wait to continue because after the ending of book 1 that I've read January to March this year, I am very, very intrigued and want to know more. But I need to wait a little bit, probably until mid November, to continue the Stormlight Archives. We will see. I will keep you updated. And I will also keep you updated with my journey of the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. These are the German versions of Lover Reborn, the 10th book in the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. It is the story of Thor and no one, and the story I liked the least so far. I think the whole premise of the story is really, really problematic, and that grief shouldn't be tackled like this. That grief is a journey, and that healing needs time. So I had a lot of problems with this plot and also with the side plots of the story. But fingers crossed that the next book in the series will be better again, because the next story is the whole reason why I reread 90 books of the series. Finished now Lover Reborn, so book 19 and 20 in German. And I will read now in September Rapture, the fourth book of the Fallen Angel series. And after that, I will continue with the Black Dagger Brotherhood series in October and can't wait for it. Please wish me luck that it will get better again. And now I have one book left that I've read. It is Späte Vergeltung by Michelle Raven, a romantic suspense book, and the fifth and final book in the Hunter series by the author. It is only available in German because it is written by a German author, but this book was now set in New York. And surprisingly, I liked this book. I wasn't sure before reading it because this book was now on my TBR for 10 years. And a lot can happen in 10 years, especially in the whole romance sector, because in the last years we had a lot more discussions about green and red flags, about toxic behavior, alpha male behavior, about feminism, about diversity. And 10 years before, this was all completely different. So I was surprised that I liked this book. And I'm super happy that with that I finished another series. I will tell you more about it in my next vlog because the next vlog will be a final chapter vlog. But with that, we have completed now my red books, and I'm very happy with the result when I see these both stacks, because this stack is much bigger than this one. And that's always the goal, that I read more than I buy. Which means we can now come to the last part of this video, where I tell you which books I will be unhauling. And yes, there will be a few books that I want to unhaul after this month. That doesn't mean that I didn't like these books, because sometimes I unhaul books that I really liked, but I know that I won't read them again, which is the case with these two books, Whisper Network and Game Changer. I really liked both of these books, but I won't read them again. So I will put them in a little free library so other persons can read and enjoy them. And I will be unhauling the books that I've DNF'd, Blood of Hercules, because this book I really didn't enjoy. So hopefully this finds a new home and will be enjoyed by another person. Please tell me in the comments if you have unhauled some books of this month. Which book have you liked the most in August? Like this video if you wanna, follow my channel, and I will see you next time. Bye!